welcome back. We're back on the Camaro today. For the people that kind of are new here, I've tried to make power torque 2 years in a row in this car, and we've done so many upgrades and done so much to it, and it still hasn't made it. I've already paid for and signed up for and have rooms for power torque this year. We're going to try to make it again. It's 11 weeks away. It'll be here before we know it, so we got to get busy now. The only thing really I think left for the powertrain to be 100%, of course there's going to be stuff that comes up, I'm 100% sure of that, but is the clutch doesn't fully release. And I think the throwout bearing needs to be shimmed. That's the best solution I can come up with of why it's not doing that. We've bled the clutch and bled it. It seems fine. It just doesn't push it in all the way, which, you know, no big deal. They sell a shim kit. I've already ordered it. It's finally here. So what we're going to do is pull it out, do all the measurements, and I'll show you how to do that as we go. If you're watching this video trying to learn how to shim your T56 clutch, maybe I'm not the guy, but maybe you find something in it that'll help you. I've never done this before. You know, I'm just a hack trying to hack my way through life here. So nonetheless, we're going to jack this car up, try to get the transmission out as quick as we can. I've had it out so many times I should be able to do this in my sleep. Maybe we can get it out today and measured and adjusted and all that and back in tomorrow. And, you know, maybe Friday we get it. Today's Wednesday. So, yeah, Friday maybe we can take it out. It's supposed to be a nice day and do some test driving. That would just be amazing. So, nonetheless, I'm going to get to work and let's get the transmission out of this car. Well, yesterday went sideways. School called me, sick kid. I had to go deal with that. So, but I did get the car jacked up, got my tools laid out, so let's get to work. I went ahead and pulled the console out, which wasn't bolted in. I just had it sitting in there. We're going to pull that shifter off and put this inspection cover on just so we don't have to deal with that sticking up. And we don't get anything in the transmission by putting this in place. So, anyways, I'm going to just do that right quick, and then we'll get under the car and get after it. I have tried to bring as many things as possible down here so I can just run through this quickly. I'm going to pull the exhaust and then the drive shaft and so on and so forth, but I'm just going to put y'all on fast motion and just get through it. We'll just get this thing out of here. Okay, so I've got it out. Come apart pretty well, as I suspected it would. The pressure line for the hydraulic clutch goes in right here. There's a little clip you take off. That you couldn't see me do it, but I did that in case you're curious. And then what we're going to take a measurement of in a minute is this throwout bearing from here. We're going to depress it all the way from here to the face of the transmission, and then those clutch fork fingers to the face of the bell housing. But I don't have a micrometer to do that, and So I've got to go get one. I'm going to go grab one and come back, but this only took me like 2 hours. Maybe not even that long. And that was just taking my time just doing it. So I'm going to go get a micrometer and or caliper or whatever you want to call it, and we'll get this thing thrown back together. Well, I went out and got a straight edge and a caliper. That was like a week and a half ago. My son ended up in the hospital. He's fine, but boy, that took a lot of time and, you know, a lot of stress for old Pops here. Let's get under the car and see if we can get this thing figured out and see how much shims we need. Okay, so the first measurement we need is from the pressure plate fingers to the surface of the bell housing. I got us a straight edge. You just need to be able to get from one side to the other, like so. You don't want to use it like this because they can flex, but like that, and then just measure that distance, and then we'll measure the distance of this and subtract it so we can get the actual distance. I'll show you. Set it at 0. You want to open it up. Set it right on the finger. Pull it up to the top. Well, all right, so we get 3.39. So here's the actual throwout bearing. I've taken the spring off of it. It's just a, this one has a plastic sleeve thing over it. And it's pretty simple. Just unsnap it from this and then twist. It came right off. Hopefully it goes back on as easy as it came off. We'll see. But they want you to push it all the way back. And we're going to measure to the face of the bearing from here. So we probably have to have our trusty straight edge again. We'll have to put our trusty straight edge on this. I don't know what I was thinking. And then just measure that. See what it says on the other side. Oops. Well, let's do it here. .41, so that should be accurate. And then the next number we need to know is what is the distance of this bad boy? 1 inch, which doesn't, you know, it should be. So now let's do some math. So one more measurement that I forgot to take. We actually need the length of this bell housing here, and we'll actually have to do a bunch of math. We'll get there. I've just about forgot it. Let's see here. .57. Let's double check it. That's 0. .57. Okay, so now we have that measurement too. Y'all ready for the math? All right, so this was our fingers to the end of the bell housing number. That number we need to subtract 1 inch off of it, so it's really 2.35 or 2.37. 2.3 is probably close enough, but we got those. So then this number Down here is the face of the transmission to the end of the throwout bearing. We need to subtract 1 from it, which is 2.41. And now we know the 5.57 is the actual depth of the transmission. So the way they explain it is we take our first number, they say it's A, and A's dimension was the 2.37. So we're just going to plug it in, 2.37. And then we're going to add it to the distance. I hope y'all can tell here. The distance from the front of the flywheel to the front of the throwout bearing. So what we end up with is way too big a gap. We need to narrow that down. Holly says we need to be between 1.25 and 2. So we need to take at least 0.6 of an inch off. So that's where the shims come in. Here's the shim pack. Let's see what all of them are together. All of them together are, let's see, 3/8. Yeah, 3/8. Or 3/8.38, which will leave us not enough. 8, 7, 10, 2, 4, 4.2, and we need to get a minimum of 2. So we need we need more shims than we got. We need 2.2, minimum of 2.2 to get us to the maximum of where we need to be. That's all the shims I've got. Let me think about it, and I got to order more, but I'd really like to just get to work on this thing and get it over with. Let me think about it and see what I got laying around. Maybe we can make something. I'll be back. Well, I was sitting here thinking about it for a while, and I think I know what we're going to do. Let me show you something. I have a full sheet of aluminum over there. I bought for a project a long time ago, and I've moved it. I couldn't tell you how many times. So I always am like, I don't want to mess that whole sheet up because it was so expensive. But today we need to do this. I don't want to wait for more shims to come in. So I'm going to go over there and measure that and see how thick that is, and see how many shims we would have to make this work. I finally got this wrestled out of the corner. I got us a piece of wood underneath it. This is a 4.5 inch hole saw, which is very close to the right size. For this, it'll be real close. But anyways, nonetheless, that'll be fine. And then I got a Diablo hole saw kit. I think maybe this one could be our center hole, which will be a little bit bigger. There again, not terribly worried about that. That should be fine too. So I want to set y'all up on a time lapse, and let's see if I can cut 3 of these things out without hurting myself. cleaned up the edges on all those, and I stacked them together and clamped them. I used the drill bit to line it all up. See if we can't cut that out without, you know, marring my body up in any way. Because yeah, this could get dangerous. It's probably a better way. I don't know it though. We're gonna try. Sanded all those down. You'll see my holes are a little offset and too big. It really matter as long as it clears. But what does matter is that all these work out. So I clamped it all together with this is one of the largest of the plates that came with it. We're just gonna drill 2 holes. It should be fine. Have it. We have 3 more plates. I'll clean up the edges of where I just drilled, but yeah, it was a lot quicker than wait until Friday. All right, so just noticed something about this paper. I've read the whole thing, or I thought I had, but I really wasn't paying attention evidently. I dropped it in the floor and noticed there's 2 sides to it. It's a method A and method B. Somehow in my infinite wisdom, I have taken my ADHD brain and converged all of it together to make a process that is completely different than anything they said. So, we're going to go with method A, and we're going to do it super easy. Super easy. God, what an idiot. Let me show you what it is. Method A. Take this distance and this distance, and you subtract this distance from that distance, and you get the measurement that you need. So 2.39 minus 2.37 is 0.02 clearance. And what that means is we need 0 shims. Zero shims. Somehow I read that and then read the other side, which takes more measurements, but I didn't take all of the measurements. Yeah. Yep. I'm an idiot. So I'm just going to put this thing back together. Evidently we didn't need to shim it at all, and I don't know what's wrong with it, but we're going to figure it out. Alright, so listen. I'm just going to put all this back together, and we're going to start bleeding this clutch again and just see what happens. I'm not even going to record me putting it together. I'm going to turn the music on my headphones. I'm just done. So we got to get this thing rolling. Let me put it back together and see what happens. Alright, I'm back at it. Past couple of days I got the transmission back in. Madison's going to help me today bleed the clutch. I still have the drive shaft left and the exhaust left to put underneath the car and a shifter. I ain't worried about that. That's little stuff. We can get this clutch bled maybe today. Let's see how that goes. I'm not going to record any of that. It's just bleeding the clutch. I have read and watched so many videos and whatever about bleeding a T56 clutch, and everybody has a different method. The method we're going to start with today, I'll tell you what it is crack the bleeder open, push the pedal down, close the bleeder, repeat process. Evidently that's supposed to be the best way. I don't know. We'll see. Well, I'm back again at it. Got the car set on the ground. Me and Maddie had bled the clutch. Like I said, I did it the different way, so feels good. We'll see what it does. I got the drive shaft and exhaust in it all buttoned up and on the ground. The only thing left is this. I got to put that shifter in and hook up the battery, and we can take this thing out for a test, see what it does. That shifter's just sitting in there. I had to do that so I could put it in neutral. But if you're wondering how to put that shifter in a CD009, I've got videos on all this stuff, but I'm just going to get to it and get it done so we can test this thing. All right, let's see if this girl will start up. She's in neutral. Hey, I got it in first gear. From neutral to first works. Heck yeah. We might be all right. Reverse doesn't quite feel right though. That needs some adjusting. I'm still trying to go in first. I'm gonna push this car outside. We can roll it down the hill. Let's see what we can make it do. All right, we're gonna fire this girl up. I'm gonna see if I can get it to roll down the driveway and see if we can just get it out on the road. It doesn't want to go in reverse. The gear oil I have in this may be not heavy enough weight. We may end up having to change that out. It's not an unheard of thing for this transmission, but hopefully we can take a little drive anyways and just make sure all the forward gears work, or at least, you know, 3 or 4 of them. That'd be great, right? That's good enough to take a trip on Power Tour. So let's see what's up. Get out here too crazy, let's just make sure we can make it back up the driveway. Yeah, should be fine. We got a runner! We also have an exhaust leak. I can hear it very well since I have a hole cut in the floor. That's alright. Car's a beast. Man, am I happy. So, drives great, stops good, does all that. It's a little tough to get in and out of gears, but even if I had to go on power tour right now, short of, cleaning it and doing a few little things, I think it could make it. When I started this, I had 11 weeks. I had 51 days, including today, before power tour. Also, we're leaving the 2 days before that or a day before that, so I really only have like 49 days. More importantly, one of the reasons that it's taken me so long to get all this done, I've had so much to do. My son was in the hospital. He's fine, but that just took a lot of time, and we have to move. I've known this was coming for a long time. The place where I've been here, I've got to move out, so we've actually found another location. I'm going to get us moved there. It has a garage, and we can work there some. So hopefully we'll still have some videos. We got to finish this car up. There's a lot of little things I want to fix. So we'll get to that. But I have a lot on my plate right now. But we're going to get this thing ready for power tour. We got to do something about how it rubs. It currently has a full tank of gas, and it does rub just a little bit with me in it. But there's no clothes in it, no cooler. I'm taking somebody with me, so there's another person and his stuff. So we may have to put some air shocks on the back of this thing or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But nonetheless, we're going to go have fun in it. I'm so happy she shifts through the gears. That's been such a thorn in my side. So I appreciate y'all for watching. Thanks for all the thumbs up and the comments. It really does help the channel. And I cannot wait to go to the next episode on this, because we're gonna put in some new gear oil and fix a lot of these little problems and really get this girl where she ought to be before power tour. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next episode.